So, man, you just never know. You never know what's going on in somebody else's house. You never know what can happen to you when it's your chance to compete. The stars have to be in line, or you can just be a victim of Murphy's Law. You just don't know. The only thing you can do is be ready as best as you possibly can. Everybody was giving Noah Lyles. You know, a lot of people don't care for the pre-race hype, jumping up and down with anime cards and all that other kind of nonsense. A lot of people don't go for that, but that's his shtick. He's been sticking to it, and as long as you win it ain't no problem. There was a lot of feedback coming back after he got bronze in the 200. He was trying to get the double, and he didn't get it. And then, after all of that, you find out he had COVID. Now, everybody was wondering why he was down on the track, and you chalked it up to, you heard of him having an asthma attack or something asthma related. Had him laid out on the track. There was a bunch of pictures. He had to get a wheelchair to get him off the track. Had his mama worried. All this kind of stuff. And I've seen that before when people got to get an inhaler and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm sure they had plenty of that medicine around. But the fact that it just took him so long to get off the track. And then Tebogo and some of the other athletes noticed that he came to warm-ups in the prelims and stuff like that wearing a mask. And Tebogo even quoted, he was quoted as to say, like, it must be something wrong because he doesn't look right. He just knew something was off, because when you get to that level and you're competing for an Olympic medal, they are creatures of habit. They've been doing the same thing to get to that point for 4 years and even longer. And for somebody to change up at the very last minute, that's red flags. So I'm sure some of the other athletes probably took notice of that. And a lot of people were asking when they saw the telecast, he's wearing a mask. I'm sure some people probably had some things to say on social media. But having said all of that, he did what he did. He ran. And even with COVID, he ended up getting a bronze medal. And you look at some of the other guys, Arian Knighton has always had trouble with Noah Lyles, and he couldn't beat Noah Lyles with COVID. So that's that's impressive. That's impressive. And it didn't seem to bother anybody else. A lot of people asked the questions, why would he run with COVID? Why wouldn't you? Everybody's not going to look at COVID the same way that they used to when it was all of the panic like it was a couple years ago. And now, not for nothing, you've worked 4 years to get to a moment in your career. You're not going to let anything change that or mess that up. You're just not going to do it. Whether you got a cold, whether you're sick, got the flu, whatever, you're going to put your best foot forward. If you're running with a headache and your whole body aching, so be it. If you played any type of organized sports, at some point in time, whether you're in high school, in college, or even if you're lucky enough to make it to the professional level, you are going to play sick at some point in time. It has happened to almost everybody. And you got to grin and bear it. A lot of times you get that adrenaline flowing and it dumbs down the symptoms for a while and it lets you do what you got to do. Your head might be in the fog, but you can produce. You got muscle memory and you just grind your way through it. But in this situation, when you're at the Olympics, you have to be at your optimal performing level at the Olympics. And if it's not your day, it's not your day, regardless of what the reason is. But Noah Lyles didn't really make no bones about it. He just kept it moving, gave everybody their props, gave the dude a hug, gave Tebogo a hug after it, gave Benerick a hug after it, and kept it moving. No excuses, nothing like that. So he never told anybody, kept it to himself, just a few people, his coach, his family, things of that nature. And he did what he had to do because he didn't want it to be an excuse. And he got out there, ran, and still got a bronze. The reasons are irrelevant. If you weren't at your top form, you just weren't at your top form. And because of COVID, you got a bronze medal. But I'm just saying, you're the third fastest person in the world in 200 meters with COVID.